Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. This week I'm going to use for the tarot part the Astromatrix Tarot, and astromatrix.org on the back here is where you check it out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and it's a Hay House product. So at the bottom there you can see the hayhouse.com if you're interested. Did I show the front of it? I hope I did. And for the dice, as always, I'm using the Dice Shop. Math Art Fun is where I got them. Hopefully you can read that if you want to. I use a 22-sided dice for the Major Arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, with a 4-sided dice choosing the element. Okay, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. That being said, let's get into your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? 6 of Wands, first card out, which is a success card. We like that. I think we like that. You got the Devil card showing up too, so it's kind of like, oh, there's success. Wait, did I want that? It's almost like, does having success in this situation feel like you're stuck with it even longer, and you're like, oh, maybe I didn't want that. It's not funny. There's victory. There's victory. There's success. What's behind it? Destiny. Something was destined to succeed. Victory. Good energy here, right? This should be good. But I'm getting the Devil card for where you're standing, kind of like, great. Now that it's still going, well, okay, I see it. You got the 7 of Pentacles with the success card, the 6 of Wands. All right, it worked, which means we got to keep doing it. I don't know that I wanted to do that. I feel like I'm kind of locked in with it now because it worked. You put a lot into this. I don't feel like your heart is into it. Whatever it is, your heart's not into it. The Devil card showing up is telling me like, yeah, I'm good at it. Yeah, I can make it work. Yeah, there's success here. I don't know that I actually want that anymore. I did at one point. In the past, you have the Judgment. Like, yeah, I wanted this at one point, but I don't know that I want this anymore. I don't know that I want this anymore. And there's a strong family field with this, or some type of loyalty that kind of like, maybe I've moved on from that. Maybe that had its time and that phase is past for me because I don't know that I want this anymore. This had its moments and it was beautiful for when it was, but I don't know that I want to keep going with it. Even though I feel like, again, you are good at it. But just because you're good at it doesn't mean you should have to stick with it, does it? Something is coming towards you. I almost feel like an expectant energy. 9 of Cups. It is just the way this person is sitting on this card. It's almost like I'm expecting something to happen while I'm waiting. That's how that feels for me. I don't know if I should be. Well, the arms are folded. I don't want to be all judgmental about it. She's a pleasant-looking woman. I don't know. I keep getting the way I was looking at it. Like, it's kind of feeling like, I'm expecting this to happen. And I feel like, all right, I know that people have expectations, but it doesn't mean I have to do it. And I don't know that I really want to. Communication is flying back and forth. There's a lot of communication. Communication does not seem to be a problem. I'm not hearing what I want to hear is what I also get. Okay, so communication is there. A lot of communication going back and forth, but I don't think that's what this is about. Even though there's a lot of it here, it seems to be based in a lot of communication. It's more about, what do you want? Because I kind of feel like I'm stuck with something that I don't think I want anymore. And it's like, just because people are talking about it, well, just because people say that I'm good at it, or that I made obligations, doesn't mean I should have to spend the rest of my life fulfilling this situation, because I don't want to do that anymore. Yeah, at the same time, I'm trying to, maybe you're even trying to convince yourself that you want to do this, but in truth, you're like, I don't really want to do this. It's like, I'm looking at this glass, and it's like, I keep thinking, what if it was one of those like big gulps? It's just kind of like, maybe it's like, I just don't really, I'm not that thirsty. I don't want to drink one of those big gulps. But I'm like, maybe I should, but I don't really want to. Maybe I feel kind of pressured into it. Almost like, when you're a young adult, and sometimes there's those drinking parties and people pressure other people into drinking. Maybe it's almost feeling like that at this moment. And I know I'm good at it. I keep getting, I know I'm good at it, but I'm not sure I want to do it. These cards fell out. One is a new beginning and one is organization. And the question is, if I keep going with this, okay, let me just do this because I feel like if I keep going with this path, I can't start this other path. Knight of Pentacles and the Strength card, half in, half out. Knight of Pentacles is reversed. If I keep going with this path, I can't start the new path. There's something else out there for me. There's something else out there for me. And I don't know that I can't have the new thing if I keep going with the old thing. And it's up to you to make the decision. I don't think that's going to be surprising. I have to turn this 1 second. Okay. You have to make the decision. There's a pressure decision. The pressure decision gets me to do what everybody else wants, which is probably not in your best interest. So there's this need to do what everybody else wants, but then I don't feel like that's in your best interest to do what everybody else wants. An option that might work better for you is to kind of look at this situation kind of like, if I do what everybody else wants, does that really do anything for me at all? Does that do anything for me? Like, I have their approval and they're happy with me, but am I happy? Is that me winning? Or is that me just kind of like technically winning on paper? It's kind of like having that college degree and never using it. It's kind of like, I got it, not doing anything with it, but I got it. And it's kind of like seeing it in that light and deciding, just because everybody likes it, or a lot of people, I shouldn't say everybody, just because a lot of people like it, if I do that, what does that really amount to? What value does that really have in my life? And if I feel like, I feel like if I look at it that way, it makes this easier, kind of like, wait a minute. Just because other people like it, if I don't, why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? And this card is like really trying to highlight, like, you need to make yourself happy. It needs to be about your happiness for this situation. Whatever this is. If you want this to go better, if this reading is hitting, an idea to consider here, if you want this to go better, is to like stop it in its tracks. Put the pause on this situation. And then take a good weekend, maybe a few days, and just sit with yourself and just decide, what do you actually want? And is this situation a part of it or not? And if it's not, maybe it's trying to like, is there a way to hand this off to somebody else? Is there a way to like just kind of go, you know what, this isn't for me, and just walk away? Or is there a way just to change directions? What do you need to do? But the first step is to stop it. Stop it right where it is. Stop it right where it is, and then decide, like, this situation, for where I want to be happy in my life, is this a part of that? And then if it's not, they're saying grace is a factor here, which is beautiful. Kind of like, listen, hey, I understand you all want this. I'm just letting you know it's not for me. If somebody else wants to do it, I'll help you through it. I'll teach you how to do it. I'll tell you what I know. But this isn't for me. I feel like that's the grace. Like, I'll help somebody else learn how to do it. I'll give you my notes. I'll tell you how I did it. But I don't want to do it anymore. And that way you can go find what you want. You can go towards what you want. It may be a slow step out of this situation, and it may take a while to completely get out of it, but I get that this can go where you want it to go. It might take a bit of work, but they're saying this is the first step with this situation to move it where you want it to be versus where it just seems to always be or seems to just push itself into. It's like it's almost like somebody coming to visit and then, staying for a couple weeks and living in your living room. It's kind of like, I didn't really want that to happen, but I can't seem to tell them no, so I have this person just hanging out in my living room for 2 weeks, versus kind of saying, listen, I got things going on, I can't have you living in my living room for 2 weeks. I understand that, you need help, but, I'll find you somebody else, or maybe this person, even though you don't want to stay with that person, they're willing to have you, so you need to go with the person willing to have you, even though you don't like it. That's too bad. Because, hey, I can't do this right now. This isn't going to work for me. It's a slow effort, but it's moving things forward. It may take a while to fully move it where you want it to be, but they're saying this is the first step to get this where you actually want it to be. What is this last thing here? There are other things out there for you, by the way. I feel like when I say that, because it sounds strange to me, because I feel like you would say, well, obviously there's other things out there for me. There's things that won't show up that you won't even be aware of unless you kind of shut this down. You got to shut down what you don't want. If you shut down what you don't want, other opportunities start showing up, and those other opportunities might show things that you're like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a possibility. I never even heard of that before. These other things, these new fresh things, can't come forward if you're still allowing things you don't want to take up your space. Because there's something else that I feel like you have no idea that it's out there. There's possibilities that you're not even aware of. But as long as you let things that you don't want take up space in your life, these things can't come in. So they're kind of giving you that heads up too. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.